How we doing, Panthers? Welcome back to the Coach's Show. I'm your host, Fletcher Newman, here with Coach Middleton, who has been getting his team started with preseason games the past few weeks. Take us through what you've been seeing in your team in these first couple of games.
I've been pretty pleased, to be honest with you. We're 6-3 right now, and our 3 losses were to a very good Mesquite team, a very good Mansfield Summit team, and Richland High. So, you know, I knew when I put the schedule together that it was going to be challenging, and but I think for the most part we've held our own and got three games this week, starting tonight against Arlington, Sam Houston. So we're hoping to put some wins together here going into Christmas break.
Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has obviously affected all high school sports so far this year. What are some things that you're having to do differently to minimize the spread of the virus this season?
Oh, wow. Staying out of the locker rooms is number one, really trying to limit the guys from gathering in the locker room, keeping their mask on when they're not being active inside the gym, so disinfecting the balls after each practice, each game, a lot of disinfecting in the weight room, you know, and socially distancing. We've tried everything, and we've been very fortunate as compared to some other schools where we haven't had many cancellations of we had our scrimmage canceled, but for the most part, we've been very fortunate.
Now, we had a strong senior class graduate last year, leaving some gaps that had to be filled on the team. So how have you seen your seniors and upperclassmen fill into those leadership gaps so far this year?
Well, obviously, Corbin Green, who I brought with me today, has stepped up and been, he's our leader scorer and rebounder, and has started off his senior campaign making a strong statement for himself. So, and he's a good teammate and pretty good leader. He leads quietly, but very proud of where he is right now and how he's been playing. Luke Reynolds and Ben Hutt and Gavin Crow are my other seniors who really just are carrying on a tradition of winning here at Middleton. You know, we've been very successful over the past 5-6 seasons and have won a lot of games, and our culture of winning is really deeply embedded into this group of seniors. They know what's expected of them, and they're basically carrying a torch and doing a good job of it.
Now, you brought Corbin Green with you today. Tell us a little bit about him.
Corbin started playing varsity as a sophomore and really came into his own then. Last year, he was injured a little bit and had a kind of an up and down season. But this year, he's come back ready to play. You know, he's really focused a lot more, and you can see it in his game. He's matured, and kids are funny about that. This is his team now, and he knows it. And I'm just watching him grow up and accept the responsibility of being counted on. You know, a lot of kids run from that responsibility of being counted on and having expectations of them. I've watched a lot of kids crumble under those circumstances. So he's taken on that responsibility and is performing at a really, really high level. He's leading us in scoring and rebounding. And last 2 games, he's had double-doubles. And, you know, he's a talented kid. So hopefully he can just keep playing like he is and keep going. You know, he's becoming, I think, a recruitable student athlete.
All right, let's go over to Corbin Green. Corbin, what position do you play and how'd you get started in basketball?
I play center, but I'm really a small forward.
Now, you're a multi-sport athlete playing baseball and basketball. How are you able to juggle the 2 at the same time?
It's pretty hard, but you just got to get both down. You got to practice both at the same time and just keep playing through each season.
Now, what are some goals that you've set for you and your team so far this season?
Some goals is just to win the state championship, be the best we can be.
Now, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind you after you graduate this year?
I just want to just pass it on to the next people below me and just, that's pretty much it.
All right, thanks, Corbin. Now, Coach, y'all play Sam Houston tonight at home in the arena. What are you expecting to see from the Texans?
You know, it's an Arlington school, so they're going to be real aggressive and athletic. And try to press us. So we got to be on top of our game and handle pressure and, play mid-low basketball, basically.
Now on Friday, the team will travel to Burleson to play the Spartans of Burleson Centennial. What are you expecting to see out of them?
It's a road game, and we need a road win. We haven't been very successful on the road so far this year. So we need to bear down to get that one. With districts looming, every game is a opportunity to get better. Preparation. We're trying to win the district championship, so going on the road and winning is a part of winning a district championship. So this game is important for that, right? I haven't watched much of Burleson Centennial. Right now, all we got to really focus on is ourselves and what we do well and how we're going to play.
Now, what's the team been working on in practices to prepare for these two games this week?
Consistency, we watch a lot of tape and try to learn visually from our mistakes, and that allows us to remove mental errors, hopefully, prepare a little bit better. So we're consistent with the process of the grind of a season. So that grind and that process has to do with, number one, coming to practice every day, prepared to get yourself better, to work on your individual skills. The second part of that is to the visual part, watching and studying film of yourself and your opponents. And the physical part, we're still weight training and trying to keep our consistent strength and conditioning up. So the season is a process, and each day there's something we have outlined for these young men to do to either get better or retain the strength or visually learning. So all those things add into the process of what it takes to be a high school boys basketball player.
Now, what's one of the team's strengths that you've seen stand out so far this year?
Wow. We're good defensively at times. I think we can sit down and we can guard, and defense wins championships. So when we're on top of our game, we can really defend. I really like this team chemistry. It's a lot better than I think last year's team chemistry, because this team seems to have less. When you had 8 seniors, sometimes the seniors get far too competitive with one another, and their competition between one another overshadows the competition against your real opponent who you're trying to beat each night. So this team seems to have better camaraderie, a better chemistry with one another, even though they're much younger. We start 2 sophomores and who are critical in the rotation, and 3 juniors who are also on the rotation. But they play really hard, and I hope we can continue that, because that's really the identity of this team, is they play hard, they're scrappy, and that type of thing. And we can shoot a little bit, and then we got, the big guy. He's as versatile of a big guy. You can see he can shoot threes. He's posting well. He's putting the ball on the floor, and he's a leader. So, they're following his leadership.
All right, well, that wraps up this week's edition of the Coach's Show. Thanks to Coach Middleton and Corbin Green for being here with us today. This week, the Panthers will play Sam Houston at home tonight at 8 o'clock and Burleson Centennial on the road on Friday at 6:30. So make sure to come out and support your Panthers. And if you can't attend, and if you are attending the game, be sure to follow all COVID-19 protocols at the game. We'll see you next week.